the show. We love to tour Ohio, and this week we're serving up special coffee from Ethiopia and Brazil. I'll also tell you where to eat, sleep, and explore. We're in Chillicothe for mounds and more, and in Portsmouth for the beauty of Shawnee State Park. Let's go. Kate, Ranger Point.
Oh yeah, Rangers always point at things. But right now you're looking at Mound City Group, which is one of 6 sites that Hopewell Culture National Historical Park manages. So this is a great one to visit because it has our visitor center, our museum, and the chance to meet a ranger and really ask those hard questions about the Hopewell culture. So this is a really interesting site. We have 3 others that are open to the public that are really fun to visit. And it's just a really great experience in Ross County and in Chillicothe because this culture that is part of the area was here over 2,000 years ago.
Incredible.
So that's a long time that these mounds have been around. These mounds have seen a lot of change throughout here in Ross County and Chillicothe.
Right.
But with the national park, we've been here for almost 100 years protecting these earthworks.
Well, what is under those?
So underneath, I'm glad you asked under them because underneath these earthworks are burials. So this site specifically was all burials, but it was people of importance. So for this culture, there were people that deserved to have something remembered for them. So these sites were built almost as a grave marker, but underneath were cremation basins, there were altars laid out, and there were artifacts left behind, left of material that was made from objects across the country. So we have things in our museum that come from Lake Superior, Yellowstone National Park, the Blue Ridge Mountains. So these materials were gathered, brought here, and left in remembrance of these people of importance.
Do you have any idea why here, of all places?
I like to say that I know, but really your guess is as good as mine.
I'll make up something.
Archaeology is a vague science sometimes,
Yeah.
but here was a great culminating spot. The Scioto River sits just on the far side of our property, and that connects to the Ohio. The Ohio connects you to the Mississippi River, and eventually you're going to get somewhere else in the country. So it was a good culminating spot. It was easy to access. Also, we have a longer growing period. So if you're bringing thousands of people here to build these earthworks, you got to feed them.
Okay.
So growing period was longer here. There was a lot of resources, and you sit kind of in 2 regions of tallgrass prairie and Appalachian mountains. So you're getting a wide variety of food sources as well in the prairies and in the forest.
See, this may blow your mind, but I can remember being a child in school and coming here and walking around, and you're still doing it today.
Correct. That's a big part of our programming here, and what my job is specifically is to bring those 4th graders, but also any other grade that's interested in learning about a prehistoric American Indian culture. So they're coming here to Mound City, they're getting tours, they're getting hands-on experience to further what those textbooks are telling them. The National Park Service is doing a great job with continuing the goals of indigenous cultures throughout the country, and we are just one of many sites that allow for that to happen.
So tell us the good news. There's possibly a big designation coming.
There is. So we've officially been nominated for a World Heritage location. We will be partnering, we do partner with Ohio History Connection, so they have a few sites that are designated Hopewell Culture, and the National Park does too. So World Heritage is a big thing. In the United States, I think there are only 24, 25 sites, so we will be one of those handful of sites within the United States. We will also be the first within the Midwest region of the National Park Service.
Wow.
So it's a big designation. We'll sit up there with the Taj Mahal and Uluru in Australia, Cahokia Mountains in Illinois, Grand Canyon. We will sit in that same ranking as those folks.
What that must do for visiting.
It's gonna boom visitation. Sometimes that's a bucket list item for people is I wanna see a World Heritage site. And the fact that there's only a small checklist within the United States makes it easy. We're accessible. We're an hour drive from Columbus. It's easy to get to us.
So if somebody is coming here, they're now very aware of what this is. It's a walking tour. They can do it on their own?
They can do it on their own. We have nice booklets that come through with self-guided tours of this site, but also of the 7 other World Heritage nominated sites. So they can pick up the booklet from us. They can also come in the summer, and we do ranger guided tours 2 times during the day, 7 days a week. So they're welcome to come in the summer and really get a ranger experience.
The Ranger Kate experience.
Not just me, we are a full staff, but they'll definitely see my smiling face 5 days a week giving tours. So it's a good time to come and really ask those hard questions. We love getting stumped as rangers.
Well, the tour you just gave me is remarkable. If this is any indication of what you people do here, it's wonderful. And to preserve this.
Yeah, and
Wow.
this is just one of 4 that the public can visit.
Thank you, Kate.
You're very welcome.
You fired up the grill for one hot dog? Seriously?
Hot dogs, better with Pepsi.
Don't turn the page, people. I'm in Architectural Digest, I think. Actually, I'm in Aqua Door Suites. Oh my gosh, it's just a quick turn onto West 2nd Street in Chillicothe, and you will find this Airbnb that is like no other, top to bottom, gorgeous. And this lady knows a little bit something about it. Rebecca, it's perfection.
Thank you, Shawn.
I love this place.
Thank you.
Tell us about it.
Well, we bought it 3 years ago. We live 2 doors down, and we also have the pool house suite on our house. So we bought this 3 years ago, and it was just in disrepair. It was dilapidated. It had been abused for some time, and we're trying to leave a better footprint on the street. We're just outside of the historic district. So we just thought, what a better way is just to buy this house and fix it up. And then short-term rentals came on the scene. And so we thought, why not? You know, this house is 200 years old, and it deserves to keep on living another 200 years.
200 years
Yes.
old.
Yes.
And it looks like you've kept, they say, the bones, right?
Yes.
And it's just, they're so updated so perfectly.
Thank
And
you.
I know you're trying to cater to a market that we're very familiar with on Live Happy, Live Well.
Mature adults.
Mature adults who will
Yes.
take care of this gorgeous place.
Yes, that is who we do cater to. There are a lot of family places, and that's great. But sometimes adults just want to be adults, and they want to be pampered. And that's what we try to do, offer a high-end concierge service along with the high-end rental.
And then I saw a golf cart. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, here at the Aquador Suites, we offer 6 bicycles, and we got a couple mountain bikes, a couple retro bikes, and a golf cart. And it comes with, everything's inclusive. We also have a custom-made fire pit in the back that glows the Aquador Suites when it's lit, free firewood, everything's inclusive here. You don't get here and you get nickeled and dimed.
I would assume you'd have to book up pretty quickly, huh?
Yes, so the month of June's already booked,
Okay.
so we're getting ready for a full summer
And you have a pool.
yes.
A pool in the city.
And that's quite rare in itself to
Uh-huh.
have a built-in swimming pool in downtown Chillicothe. And it's a heated saltwater pool with a 10-foot waterfall. It's spectacular. At nighttime, it's magical, it's fairy tale. People don't even believe, they're like, wow, we're downtown. And then you walk out the gate and you're in the finest restaurants. And Chillicothe offers so many quaint adventures, as you will get into later in the show. But if you want to see some of those and stay at a top-notch place, this is it. Or the pool house. If you like water, stay at the pool house suite.
I'm coming back. No cameras when I'm in the pool house, okay?
Exactly.
Promise? Okay.
Exactly.
Now let's go play Taboo. What do you
Okay,
say? I love
sounds
this
fabulous.
place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shawn.
Erica, this is pretty and yummy.
It's amazing. This is our Tequila Sunrise.
And I know you have other, oh, that's good. Other specialty drinks?
We do. One of our house favorites is our Cowboy Killer. It's a smoked infused bourbon.
Giddy up. But you're the poorhouse, right?
Yeah.
The poorhouse at Machinery Hall.
Yep.
So beer.
Yep, lots of beer, lots of bourbon, lots of great food.
I saw a lot of taps.
Yes, we have 30 different beers on draft, constantly rotating with different breweries around Ohio.
Amazing, and a huge menu.
Yes, we just dropped a new menu. Some of our favorites are our bourbon burger and our pub fish and chips.
And where else can we find those? Because already my mouth is salivating.
Yeah, so you can see all of our menus online at pouronchillicothe.com.
Excellent. Now, we're in this gorgeous place here, and you can tell there's some history behind this.
Yeah, so the poorhouse at Machinery Hall was built in 1881. It was originally used for farm equipment, and
Really?
when Ben and Kelly daughters founded the restaurant, they decided that they wanted to keep the old with the new. So we have original flooring, original woodwork, and original brick.
And it goes on so far.
Yes.
And what about upstairs?
We just opened our Terrace 27. It is the only rooftop dining in Chillicothe.
Wow.
And it holds 55 people, and we are ready and excited for the summer.
This is quite a place.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
If you came here, what things, say if I came here, which I will, what should I order?
Definitely. Our bourbon burger is by far our most popular.
Really?
It goes great with beer, bourbon, wine, anything that we have. It is just the perfect meal.
And if your children want to eat, they're not eating a bourbon burger, maybe. What do you have for kids?
We have a full kids menu, chicken tenders, cheeseburger sliders,
All the good
quesadillas.
stuff.
Yep, all the great things kids love.
All right, well, you said it all. I'm starved, I'm ready to eat, and
Yep,
probably a good
finish it,
thing,
yep.
right? You've been a great host.
Thank you.
I'll see if our table is ready, Christy. Yes? All right, come on, let's go
Here
eat.
we go.
All right, Trent, Jordan ordered a Cubano.
Cubano for here? All right.
I'm not doing it, that's you.
I'll get it going. I'll get it going.
Tell us about roast coffee while you're making that.
So we are coffee roasters. We roast and wholesale and supply coffee all around, as well as our cafe here in downtown Chillicothe.
And where do you get your beans?
I work with several coffee producers that actually travel all around the world, Guatemala, Ethiopia, Colombia, and I source from them, have it shipped right here, and do all of our roasting here in-house, and supply for our own store, and then ship out to, like I said, some of the other stores that we work with.
Coffee business, and here you are. This is kind of the central point of the Fort Collective. What was the idea behind the Fort Collective?
I grew up building forts in my backyard as a kid, and it was where all of the neighborhood gang gathered. And so when we were kind of developing this concept, it was how can we create a space where people want to come morning, noon, and night and spend their time with their families and eat lunch and drink coffee and gather, shop around, and
love it.
it's a place you want to just kind of spend all day.
Absolutely. Do you serve coffee to your friends in the fort?
Here in the fort, not when I was a kid though.
Okay.
I mean, that was
A lot of wired little children.
yeah, absolutely. Our parents wouldn't have liked us if that was the
So
case.
pretty. Jordan, order up. How'd I do? Good?
Perfect.
Thank you.
That
Thanks,
smells amazing. I'll take one of those to go.
I'll get it going.
I gotta go shop.
All right, have
Thanks,
fun.
buddy.
Yep, see ya.
Shopping in Chillicothe is so fun, and here at the Fort Collective, it's pretty special. We're here in a shop called The Stack. Jaded, you are the owner of The Stack.
Hey, Shawn, and welcome to The Stack.
Tell us what it is.
The Stack is a retail for apparel, accessories, and art, all local art, by the way, where we focus mainly on producing the next generation, providing stability for them, and planting roots.
Why did you decide this was going to be what your mission was?
Well, honestly, the store started with the mission before the retail ever came along.
Okay.
Our main focus was we want to produce a space where the next generation could come and feel like they could learn what it means to even plant seeds in their own community. Because I feel like a lot of times when you grow up in a community, your first instinct is to run. But the actuality is the best part of growing up in a community is that you know the space and you can plant seeds right where you are.
So it's not just about ringing up sales.
It's not. It's actually about, for us, all about teaching this generation career development, financial awareness, so that they can have a root in the community they grew up in, so that they can plant for other generations.
You have some really great things here.
Thank you.
Men and women, young adults, all of it.
Yes, we cover all age ranges, both genders. We love it. We love making sure that the whole family can shop with us. It's incredible.
Yes, it is. Do you mind if you ring one up for me, though?
I mean, it'd be my pleasure.
I have had my eye on this ever since we got in.
And it looks good, doesn't it?
Well, I'm going to take this. I'll meet you over there, and I think I'll shop a little bit more.
All right, darling.
Thanks,
Good to meet
girl.
ya.
Oh, yeah, this is mine. I'll take it. Shopping in Chillicothe. It's going to break my piggy bank today, but it's all good because I love this stuff. Kindly and Deidre.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you, Shawn?
Good. So Kindly is
All things good.
all things good. Where did the idea come from?
So in 2019, unfortunately, I lost my son to a long battle of addiction. And he and I were trying to figure out a way to give back to our community.
So you decided to carry on, right?
Absolutely.
And that's how the store came about.
Yes.
Oh, so tell me what you carry. What do you have here?
So much of what we have in the store has a cause, a purpose, or a message behind it. We have a lot of items that give back, But the goal overall of the store is just to create a place where women can come of all ages, shapes, and sizes and leave here with something that helps them feel their absolute best self.
I'm feeling it. Yeah. Now, also, I know because you say you do some things in the community to honor your son. So what are you doing?
So we actually have set up a scholarship fund for students who have lost a parent due to addiction.
Oh, nice. Wow.
We have a community event. It's called a Kindly Closet. Here in our downtown park, we do that annually where women from the community donate items as well as our store, and then we come together and women in need in the community can shop for free from the boutique that we set up.
You're doing wonderful things.
Oh, thank you so much.
So
I
happy to
appreciate
see
it.
you.
Thank you. You too. Wonderful meeting you.
Send your summer into overdrive on Ohio's Rock and Ride Road Trip. Turn up the fun at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And hit thrilling new heights at Cedar Point. Then take in the sweet sights and sounds of Ohio's Amish country. Get ready to roll on Ohio's Rock and Ride Road Trip. Find it here at ohio.org.
These acoustics are amazing, Tecumseh!
Let's get Shawn. Shawn, you're early.
I'm early?
Show didn't start till 8 o'clock in 6 weeks.
Ah! Well, I'm usually late, so this is good news.
Good for you.
Brandon, so good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Oh my gosh, Tecumseh, what a cool show this is.
It is a cool show. It's you know, I've spent my whole life here in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And it has a way of getting its fists right into you and keeping you around.
So tell the backstory. I mean, you are from here.
Yeah, I grew up here in Chillicothe. Worked here through high school. Went off to college and left Chillicothe for 20-some years. And then was lucky enough when the job opened up to get it and move back home, and it's great. My family's close.
This is awesome.
It's good to be back home. I've always loved Chillicothe in Ohio.
I love this whole, is it called an amphitheater still?
Yes.
Okay. So this being the 50th year for Tecumseh just blows my mind. How has the production changed? And we should also tell the story a little bit.
Sure. So the background is that Tecumseh was born very close to here, over towards Yellow Springs, but grew up just down the road here. His father's village was here in Chillicothe.
Huh.
And he was a leader of the Shawnee people in the late early 1800s, and became world famous due to his attempt to build a Pan-American Confederation of Indian tribes with which to prevent the further westward expansion of the United States. And he nearly pulled it off. He was defeated in Indiana, after which he joined the British Army in the War of 1812, and he was killed during that war.
Okay. So, I mean, the show is so full of action. You've got the horses and the cannons and explosions in the water. Yeah. How do you train horses to come into an amphitheater setting and everybody hit their mark?
Well, I don't. The horses kind of freak me out a little bit, actually, if I'm being honest. But we have the best people in the business on it. That's really the key, is to hire good people who know what they're doing, can do it safely, can do it repetitively, night after night after night. A team of 3 people takes care of about 10 horses, and they will train the other actors to ride as well. So we have equestrians who learn how to act, and we have actors who learn how to ride horses.
How many in the cast?
About 45.
Wow, that's a big cast.
It's a big cast.
And people who've never experienced it, what do you think, what's their reaction typically?
It's kind of all over the map, you know. Little kids come and they're just cool with seeing the explosions of horses. They love that. People remember coming here with their grandparents when they were little kids, and now they're bringing their kids to see it again. So there's a lot of memories that get made. My hope is always that the story that we're telling will touch people in a way where they want to learn more about it, because you know, you can't pack everything into a 2-hour show, right? But that's the hope, and I think the story at its core is really about what can happen when a community comes together towards a common goal. And I think that speaks to everybody, whether or not they're familiar with the history of it or not. That theme, I think, can tick something in the brain that goes, I can identify with these people. And
it runs through Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Okay. And for people that are going to come, they should know it's an evening production.
Yeah, 8 o'clock it starts, Monday through Saturday. It runs a little over 2 hours. That includes an intermission. And the show is created in a way that the first act happens in the daylight, and the second act happens under the stage lights.
It's something.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't experienced it for a few years, but I know the 50th year has to be very special.
It sure is. I believe my first year as theater manager was the 25th anniversary.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, it's just amazing that anything can stick around for 25 years, and now here we are celebrating 50.
And here we are.
Yes, yes.
I get it. So tell people if they do want to experience this, I mean, they can plan pretty much for a family production. This is not anything they have to be concerned about in that way.
Exactly. It's a loud show.
Yeah.
There is some violence in the show.
Okay.
And we always recommend that people who have kids, if they're concerned about, being scared by the gunshots or by the sight of blood or anything like that, bring them to the backstage tour. Because we show exactly how all that's done. Everything is fake. They get to meet the actors. They get to hear the guns go off, and it's all explained to them so that they can just sit and enjoy the show and not worry about that. But the violence that's it's really in two places. It's a lot. It can be a lot.
Okay.
But it's also pretty true to what actually happened.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if people are ready to come celebrate your 50th, and congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you need a femme fatale, please let me know.
You're hired.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Wow. Robin, this is gorgeous. This is just spectacular. The views here. Tell us all about this place, Shawnee State Park Lodge.
We have 50 guest rooms, 25 housekeeping cottages, good for a family. We have indoor and outdoor pools. We have a fitness room, game room, hiking trails. There's just a lot of things for families to do here at Shawnee.
Is that who you tailor to mostly?
Yes, families and seniors.
It's just an immense place, and it goes on and on. So what part of the season, what time of the year do most people like to come here?
The summertime is when we get most of the families. And then in the fall and the spring is generally when we have our groups. We have a conference facility also that brings groups in.
So we're sailing though into the summer months, so that's when you're really at peak.
We offer a program for the kids, for families. It's called Stays for A's. You bring your report card and you get $10 off for each A, up to 5 A's. So
well, I would have owed you money as a kid, you know that? So businesses, I'm sure, enjoy this.
Absolutely. Our conference facility, we host weddings, church retreats, business retreats. We have small meeting rooms to a large ballroom, so we get lots of those as well.
Get people out of their own businesses and come up here.
Absolutely. Get away from the office, come out here and enjoy the view, and get your work done in private.
And no more Zooming.
Right, right.
Do you have to book way in advance?
Generally a year in advance for most weekends, including wintertime. Those weekdays, you can get in a little shorter time frame.
All right, and the rates are pretty comparable, I'm sure, to other places.
Absolutely. We offer a senior rate, Savvy Senior, which is a really good rate. And we also have a rewards program. You get a card, no charge, get it from the front desk at any of the Great Ohio Lodges. Get it stamped 10 times, you can get a free night, or send it in and get a check for 100.
Oh my gosh,
so,
okay.
Yep.
And then as far as eating, when you're here?
We have the smokehouse at Shawnee. On Friday nights, we have a all-you-care-to-eat catfish buffet. Very popular with our guests that come to stay, as well as the locals. We have the lounge right next door.
It sounds like you're going to be well fed. You don't have to worry about that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you for the tour. This place is just gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
You feel good out here, don't you?
It's the best. It's the best place to be that I can imagine.
How long have you been doing this, Jenny?
23 years,
Oh
but
my
pretty
gosh.
much my whole life, really.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you dress the part. I could just tell you love what you do.
I do love what I do.
Tell us about this park.
Well, it's a really unique park because it's the southernmost park in Ohio. So spring happens first here, migration happens first here, and just warms up a little. We have the Ohio River that keeps us a little warmer than the rest of the state, and we have a lot of biodiversity here, and people come from all over to witness our biodiversity.
People might hear some school children in the background, so you do tours for them.
I do lots of tours for school kids and other groups, yes.
And they love it. And what about, so if you're with your family, and we've already talked about the lodge, a great place to stay, if you come out here, can you just navigate it yourself?
You sure can, but we also have really great maps you can pick up at the office or at the Nature Center or one of our camp stores. We have 2 campgrounds. One's open right now here in the park with over 100 sites, and we have 9 miles of trails within the park, but outside of the park, the forest has a 60-mile backpack trail, and there's 70 miles of horse trails, and there's 100 miles of beautiful forest roads that can be toured. And you hardly ever see any people unless it's hunting season or people are looking for mushrooms or birds or wildflowers, but it's just a wonderful place to come and explore. And this trail right here is a self-guided trail. It's called the Tree Trail, so there's signs that tell about the natural history of the trees.
Wow.
And we have a great amount of tree diversity here in Shawnee.
And I love that you have, it's like a log cabin that's going to be turned into a museum.
Yes, a history,
Oh my
a
gosh.
cultural history museum, and right next to it is the Nature Center, which is a natural history museum. So we have reptiles, amphibians, and fish in there, and it's open all summer long.
You really need to plan a stay, though, if you're going to come.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You should stay here, but then you should come back over and over and over, because not only do we have this beautiful little park in the center of the largest state forest in Ohio, 64,000 acres, right next to us is the edge of Appalachia Preserve, and the edge of Appalachia Preserve is the largest nature conservancy property in Ohio. It's over 20,000 acres, and it's all different than here. This is sandstone and it's high acid soil, so we have different plants and animals than over there where there's sweet limestone soil and karst topography, caves and things like that. So it's really different, the biodiversity from here to there in just 20 miles is just amazing.
Jenny, if only there was some information in here. You definitely do what you love, don't you?
I do what I love, yes.
Aren't
I do.
you lucky?
Yes.
This is a special place. Thanks
It
for
is.
sharing it. I
Yes,
appreciate
I hope
it.
that everyone will come and check it out.
Of course.
Send your summer into overdrive on Ohio's Rock and Ride Road Trip. Turn up the fun at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And hit thrilling new heights at Cedar Point. Then take in the sweet sights and sounds of Ohio's Amish country. Get ready to roll on Ohio's Rock and Ride Road Trip. Find it here at ohio.org.
Hey, thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll see you next time on Live Happy, Live Well. Closed captioning provided by the Wesley Communities.